Hi. At the moment of recording this, I have about 4 years of experience and trial and error with making YouTube videos. In this video, I will hopefully manage to unpack and assemble this ring light. It's model RL/18B2 by a company named Visico. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I'll try to show on camera the name and the model. And before I get on with this, I will just briefly mention my current recording equipment in case that info is of any help to anyone. So let's get this out of the way. Let's start with camera. I'm using a mobile phone. It is iPhone SE model, the 2 version, the latest and greatest. It has 128 gigabytes of storage, and that is enough to record a lot of videos in full HD. And it has some pros and it has some cons. Generally, I've tried some basic models that my friends had, and recording videos. It's usually a problem with some phones that they cannot really focus efficiently. So you can see in some of my older videos that camera does like move in and out all the time, every few seconds. It cannot retain focus, and it's a bit slow on reacquiring focus when I try to put something in front of the camera and show it from the further out, or when the camera is moved as I do different things around the bicycle when I get some of my friends to hold the camera. This model does that job pretty well. Of all the phones that I've tried, I haven't tried any more expensive phones, any flagship models, but I suppose that any decent quality phone today has enough, good enough camera. Another advantage of using a camera on a mobile phone for recording is that it is super compact, super light, and I generally don't use smartphones like normal people. I use it only for making phone calls now that I have it already, and for recording YouTube videos, so I cannot comment on other mobile phone functions. But as far as recording goes, the upsides are that you have it on you relatively easily. I can even carry it on bicycle rides when I go out, if I wish to carry a phone and I have a camera. It has another advantage that it can record videos for a very long time, even when it's on a battery, when it's not plugged into a charger. I'll make a separate video explaining batteries, prolonging battery life, and so on, but the bottom line is that at least this phone helps me to just put it on a stand, do work all afternoon, and then just cut out the most boring parts. It is my understanding that not every camera is capable of that, and that battery life is not always as good, so for me this is not bad. Of course, it's not perfect, and from what I could see of some more experienced professional video makers and photographers, more expensive high-end cameras of course have some advantages, but I don't think that I'm knowledgeable enough even to talk about them, so I can just point to the good sides of this camera, and I don't see much problems and downsides apart from not being able to record videos in 4K resolution. But 4K resolution also requires you to have a very powerful computer to edit those videos, and it takes a lot more storage, and I think that even the amount of storage that my stupidity takes is more than enough. There's no need to make it any larger. Also, most people today watch videos on their mobile phones or on their laptops, computers, so then it's usually in a smaller window in a computer. And I can see an advantage of a 4K video only if it is shown on a huge TV screen. Maybe many people use it like that, but even for that, I think that 1080p resolution, the full HD, can scale very well on a 4K monitor. So In my opinion, most details are not lost because of the video resolution. It's usually because of some other problems, including the lighting. We'll come to that. The next most important thing about videos is the sound, and I want to thank everyone who's made comments and complaints or pointing out the problems. I had a problem with poor sound quality in many, even most of my videos so far that I've made. So I try to test different options and see how I can improve that. And one of the solutions that I came to is this. I have it on myself right now. It's like a small wireless microphone. You have one end that connects to your phone. They sell different standards for smartphones, Androids, for different models, and you have this thingy that goes on you, and the battery holds. You can record the whole afternoon without needing to recharge battery, so it's great. And the thingy that goes to your phone has like a pass-through connector, so you can connect it to a charger while you're recording. And again, in a separate video about batteries, I'll explain what the caveats of that are and what to pay attention to. But it works okay. I suppose it's not the highest quality microphone there is. For example, I had a wired microphone before, and the upside of that microphone is that it did get a bit better volume. With this one, I'm not sure how that is technically called, gain or something, but I need to edit volume when I'm editing the videos. I need to make the videos audio be a bit more pronounced, and I'll maybe make a separate video on how I do that using the free Kdenlive software. But to get back to the point, it has the advantage of letting me work without being interrupted, no worrying about cables, and I can turn away from the camera and still the sound is of the same quality. I can move back and forth, which I often do, and friends who try to record videos with camera go crazy because I don't always make scripts or plans. We just go. So that's the advantage of this. It's made in China. It's sold by many different companies. You can Google it. Like I tried Googling a Lightspeed wireless microphone and things like that, and so I find something that looks like this, and it's about $50 if I remember correctly, and it does the job. You can hear that's as good as it gets with this microphone. Next, a very important thing is lighting. If you have poor light, then you need to have a very high quality camera and an expensive one, but with decent light you can probably make even an average camera make a decent quality video. At least that's been my experience so far. So around my workshop I put lights like this one. That's a standard LED light bulb. It has the color of light of 4000 Kelvin, and here you can see the scale. If you go higher in Kelvin, it gets closer to blue light, and if you go lower, it gets to that warmer, more yellow light. And in my opinion and experience, this is the sweet spot for me, because it's light enough, white enough for me to see all the details with everything that I'm working, and it still makes a relatively comfortable, cozy atmosphere so I can play music and enjoy my work, while the higher Kelvin lights like 5500 Kelvin, 6000 Kelvin, they maybe some details are better noticeable more easily in that light that is completely white or even bluish, but it makes a bit of a hospital-like, very cold atmosphere, and I didn't enjoy working under those lights, so I gave them a try and said, okay, let's take a step back. Likewise, when I worked with the 2600 Kelvin lights, or about 3000 Kelvin lights, they were a bit too yellowy, and it's not very easy if you have to do some fine work and notice every detail. It's better to have something like this, so this is what I opted for. In addition to that, I used some relatively cheap. These are about, I don't know, $5 to to $10 depending on how powerful a light bulb is. This one is 40 watts, but it's an LED, so it's about 100 watts. That incandescent light, the standard light bulb. It's I'll make a separate video about lumens and light power and everything. This will be long enough without that. Here I have like a flash light, whatever it's called, the reflector. That's also relatively affordable, under $10 a piece, and I also got them in 4000 Kelvin light temperature, and I got those to point at the ceiling so that the light bounces off the walls and creates a nice all-around lighting effect, so that I don't have any sharp shadows when I put my hands over something that I want to work on, or my body, and that allows me to work easily. And there we come to this and to a problem that I've noticed. When I set up the lights so that I can work most easily, it turns out that those lights are not very good for making videos, because if I have a light at the rear, then the shadows get cast, and sometimes it gets looking very bad on the video, and I'm not a wizard when it comes to video editing and color adjustments and all those things. So I wanted to see if I can help myself have some sort of a portable light that can point from where the camera is recording from, and if I'm not blocking the camera, I'm not blocking the light. So for that reason I decided to give this a go. This thing cost about $150, so that I think it's an English saying that a fool and his money are soon parted. So it's not cheap, and I will open it and show what it can do. I'm not sure if I'll be having enough time to test it in detail today, but I'll just try to assemble it and explain the basics. And the basic idea is that I got an 18-inch ring light, so those wider ones, at least from what I could Google, should allow me to get a decent, nice diffuse light without sharp shadows, tongue breaking, even from a greater distance of 1 meter or even 2 meters. So hopefully it will work, and we'll give it a try. So this is the box. It has these two like that I need to open first, and now I should be able to open it. Okay, here it is. And in my experience with boxes like this, if it's something fragile, it's best to try to take it out like this. Okay, that's all there is. Now let's see what we have here. This says light stand. Is it a stand for the light, or is it very light in weight? Let's open it. Now let's see what we have here. Okay, that's all there is. Someone forgot a $100 bill. Okay. We have this part. It has like a standard mount for the camera holders. I'm using one such camera holders to hold the phone with an adapter on this tripod stand that the phone is now standing on, and it has this thing for attaching. Okay. rubbish. And it has this little thingy. I'm really not sure what this is for. It has some adjustments. Okay, when all else fails, read the user instructions. Okay, and let's see about this. Okay, it has these like plastic brackets, so it holds it in place when it's folded. All right, and let's see if we can. Okay, this looks like a stand. I'll see if, okay, it has like some sort of plastic ends, so it's not rubber, it's not flexible, but hopefully it will be stable. Okay, let's see how stable it is. Okay, I'm not an expert, but this does not look promising. And let's see if I can lock it up by using this to tighten it. Okay, it's plastic. I'm not going super tight. Let's give it a try. It has some wiggle room now, but it's a lot more stable. Okay, so that looks promising so far. Let's see about the height adjustment. Okay, I've got these thingies. Okay. And another one for the other section, I suppose. Yes. Okay. And the third one for this section. Let's see how high it can go. It has stops, so you cannot make it go out completely, which makes sense. Okay, this is about it. So, not bad, not bad. And this is the how wide the base is. If you can see, it's about shoulder width. Let's see. Whoop. It's about shoulder width, so it's not taking too much space. And you can make it wider, probably. Let's see how stable this is. Doesn't look too bad. There's no room for a weight, as far as I can see for now, to weigh it down if you're working in windy conditions. But hopefully I can make this go wider. Let's see now. Okay, let's put this back because it keeps hitting the ceiling. So it's quite tall. I think it goes to about 2 meters by the look of it. And let's see now. Okay, it looks a lot more stable this way, so it can go to a lot wider than shoulder width and provide some stable anchors. That's good. Let's move on. Let's see what's in the bag. So far I haven't seen any user manuals. And this bag looks like a nylon bag. Nothing to write home about, but it doesn't look too flimsy. Okay. It has some rubbery inserts between the outer and the inner layers, so probably to protect this from any shocks or breakage. And let's see what we have here. We have a power cord, and this is for 15 volts, 4 amperes. This model lets you buy separate batteries so that it can run without any plugs available. Okay, let's see about what else is in here. Okay, This looks like this has a mount for these standards, and it looks like a holder for a tablet, not a phone but a tablet. And here is to unlock it and lock it. Let's see now. No moving, and let's unlock it. Now I can move it to adjust the size. Okay, cool. And I just turn it around by 90 degrees and it's locked. Let's try again. Okay, it doesn't move any further. So it's unlocked. You can hear and feel a click, and you can see it here as this. It's unlocked, and then as I lock it, it gets a bit pushed and against this, and nothing happens. This is some sort of a hard sponge, rubbery sponge. Okay. Hope I don't fall. It's not the highest quality plastic that I've seen, but it also doesn't look like the worst quality plastic that I've seen. So not too bad. This looks like a phone. It's supposed to hold the phone in place. I'm not sure. It has a mount here and a mount here, so you can probably mount it like this or like this, depending on how you place your phone. And I'm not really sure whether this gets... Oh, okay, it has a spring. It has autumn, so you can move it and put your phone inside and hold it in place. Okay, that's cool. Doesn't look too bad. And let's see about this. Okay, for this I will probably need to cut this open. Okay, so I've cut it open on the top, and now I can remove this part and hopefully take out whatever it is in here. Let's see. Okay, it has a mirror. I have no idea what this is used for. I suppose that makeup artists will know how to put this to good use. So it's a mirror. That's how big it is. For whatever it does, it's in here. I'll have to Google. If you know what the mirror is best used for, please use the comment section below. I'm just a monkey trying to get a better light for recording, so not an expert. And here it is. I'll show it. Just a second. Okay, what is this? I think this is to remove any moisture. I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I think it is. Even says ever dry, superior desiccant. Alright, here it is. It's electronics inside, so I suppose, so it's probably a good idea to make sure that no moisture gets in. And here we have owner's manual, and that's it. That's all there is in the bag. The bag has like a pocket here. I'm not sure if I can catch this on camera, but here it is, the pocket inside. Doesn't look very thick, sturdy or anything, but maybe you can use it for something. So it comes with a bag to carry it, and this whole over the shoulder thing that can be elongated using this adjustment. And I hope that's simple enough so I don't have to show it, and I will not be... Okay, why not? You can always rewind. So let's use this adjustment to make this longer. So the idea is to, instead of having this folded like half, to make it unfolded. So I'm moving this all the way. It's a simple principle, and now it's a bit longer. It has a shoulder strap, very thin plasticky rubber, but it looks okay. I will not be needing this, hopefully. So let's get it back. Okay, this is as short as it gets, and here is the bag. And now this part, let's see the user manual and what looks like a remote control. Camera 360 iOS and SEO, something that I cannot discern. Remote shutter, easy to set up, use, made in China. On off button. Okay, so we have an on and off button at the side. I've turned it on and it's blinking, turned it off and it has these two buttons, and this is the rear end, and it seems to be sliding to open it like this towards the bottom. Yes, you just press it and slide it towards the bottom, and then you can see the battery. Let's try to pry out the battery. All right. Okay, nothing to it. It's standard CR2032 battery. Let's try to show it. Okay, and this little thingy, let's put it back together. I've placed the battery with the flat larger part on the outside, and now I'll insert this and close it up. Okay, it has these grooves at the back and this at the front. So the grooves at the back engage here and this at the front engages here, and I've aligned it properly, and now just press it. Not much force needed. Okay, you can make a pendant for it. And now for the user manual. Please stop making these stupid videos. Okay. Button 8. It's user manual for how to set it up and how to pair it with different models of iPhones, Samsung Galaxy, and Sony Xperia. Okay, so let's try to show this user manual. And the other side. I hope you can see it. I won't be wasting time trying to read this now. I want to see about this part and what we have here. Okay, we have a thingy that lets us choose warmer light, 3200 Kelvin, and 5600 Kelvin as the coolest light, and I'll have to calculate where on this is the 4000 Kelvin. I suppose it's around halfway, but I'll have to sit and think. And this is for the amount of light, whether I want 0 or full power. Okay, that's pretty intuitive. I can run it on batteries, turn it off, or run it on DC direct current when I put the charger in it. And it has an output 5 volts and 2 amperes for charging stuff, cameras and mobile phones. That looks like a neat thing. Here we have a LED LED ring light RL/18B2. This is the model. Okay. 15 volts DC, made in China. Alright, and these are probably for the batteries. Let's try. I press this and take this out. And here I can see two contacts. I suppose that batteries go in here, and this is just a dummy to close it when no batteries are used. To return it, here I press this and just slide it out. To return it, I need to align it a bit, almost halfway through, and then just press. Let's check out the other side. Yeah, it's the same. Okay, relatively simple and straightforward and intuitive. And let's see about adjusting this angle. Okay, this moves. Alright, did I break it? It's a good sturdy plastic. Cool. It's an LED light. It's not fluorescent or something, it's LED, so it shouldn't take too much energy, and it allows you to change the light color, which is great. Okay, this moves. It has like in the middle a section where it feels a bit like it's locked, but you can push it past that. Okay, and I suppose that here you can tighten it so that it cannot wiggle, and I'm not sure how heavy camera this can hold. I would have to Google user manual for that, but this little part here that it has like sort of a groove, we have the same thing here. It seems to enable this little thing that protrudes to get stuck so that this cannot fly off when you mount it. Okay, that makes sense. Let's try to put it on the stand. So I'll insert it as far as it will go. I inserted it and I'm tightening this now. It can move left, right, but it cannot move up and down, so that's good. But I can wiggle it left and right. I'm not sure if that damages the interface or causes any problems, but that is definitely the case. It's possible. Okay, let's try to connect these. Okay. Plugged it in already. This is the standard plug for this one is for 250 volts. Okay, that's the electricity standard that we have. And this rectifier, it can take 100 volts voltage, so at 60 or 50 hertz, so it will probably work in the United States as well. You just need a different kind of thingy to plug it in. Okay, let's try to get this untangled. Okay, here it is, and this is where I plug it in on the back. It has like it says DC 15 volts, so that is it. All right, and now before I turn it on, I will see about placing this camera mount, and here I understand now how this works. All right, let's unplug it and show it close up. It's definitely not the most sturdy, the most stable system I've seen. I would be lying if I said otherwise. Okay, so don't sneeze near it. For some strong winds, I would not be comfortable using this outdoors, but for the garage, I hope I won't smash my phone or any camera that I mount on it. So let's try to show it. Here it is. And we have this little thingy that has like this sort of thread at the bottom, and this should slide in into this groove. Let's see. Okay, let's see if it's symmetrical. Yes, it is. Both sides are the same, so I've just slid it in roughly halfway through. It goes in on both ends. You can play. And now let's try to tighten this down. It has two of these nuts. I'll show it. Okay, these two nuts turn separately. So I can put it in place and just tighten the bottom nut to keep it tight, but it's plastic. This is not metal, this is plastic on the light, so I would not use some super force. And this upper section should allow me to lock this upper part in place so that it doesn't move. Okay, that looks about right, and let's see about this. All right, this little thing on the side lets me loosen this so I can play with the angle and then tighten it in place. That looks relatively practical, and there I need to just mount the thing that I will put my camera on, and let's mount it like this. All right, I think I've got it. So you can use this to tighten it finally, but first you thread it on. Okay, trying not to cross thread it. It's plastic, but it has a metal insert, so I can now just align it. Okay, I can try to align it like this and tighten it. And so my phone will be placed like this here. Let's say this is my phone. Okay. And now how do I get it to be pointed like this? So I need to turn this around, tighten it, loosen this, put it down, and make this here like this. Okay, this should do. So now I should be able to put my phone in here, or the other way around. Okay. This looks better. Now it's all tightened down. Assembled, and it should look like this. Now let's see what this would look like if I turn it on. DC. Okay. I didn't have to do any calculation. It's super idiot friendly. So I have here the how much of light I'm getting. This is 100% and this is 0. And here I have the light color. This is warmer and this is the coldest it can get. So this would be about 4,000 Kelvin. Let's see if I can make you blind now. Okay, this is the maximum amount of light, the lowest amount of light. A brief digression thanks to the power of filmmaking. Let's see how the light works. Here I'll try to catch both the light and the reflection on the wall. And let's go from, this is the most powerful light. And this is the change of color from the warmest, 3200, to the coolest. This is 5600. and this is 4000 Kelvin. And now let's start from the smallest amount of light. This is about 30%, or about 70%, and the maximum amount of light. The camera compensates for that, so it's not really visible in the camera, but it does make a difference. And let's try to put this behind the camera, then turn it on and see what if I look any uglier. Okay, this is the strongest light, as much as it will glow. And now you can see my beautiful makeup and all the features. And I hope that it would be more easy to spot any details on any things that I'm working on and showing. But this is a bit too bright for my taste. And let's try to... This is now at 40%, and I will try to look into the middle of it. And for my taste, it's still a bit too bright. I need to make my eyes like that. And this is 10%. That's very good for me, but I'm not sure if it shows any difference. This is an experiment. And we'll know if I threw money away or if it will be of any use. And if nothing else, it will at least work as an extra light that can be moved around and pointed, because I've had problems with most other lights in my garage. They are not as easily portable, and so I was like, should I get a smaller light to just move it around? And this looked like a good idea. Everyone recommends it, and in a few weeks or months I'll know if it's a waste of money or if it really is good. I'll also be able to say if it is of any good quality. So I'm looking at it right now directly. Okay, it's not too bad, but we'll know in a few weeks time of working with it and playing with it. This is all I have for you today. I still haven't got any idea what this is used for, except to maybe make this whole structure even longer and taller. That's the only thing that I can think of right now, or maybe you can add some other mounts on it for quicker change, but I'm not really sure if it's necessary. The most important thing for me was to get another light, and we'll see if it's of any use. Thank you very much for watching. If I figure out these remotes and other stuff, I'll let you know in a separate video, though I'm not a fan of all these Bluetooth gadgets, so not the best person for that. I just want to set the camera on it and let it go running, or put this as an extra light in the shop when someone else is recording, which is my preferred option. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in some other video. Cheers!